All right, so welcome back and congratulations. You are in the last lesson. So we have made all these lessons. I hope so. They are pretty much clear to you. So in our final wrap-up lesson, we'd like to show you up with what we have got till now. Here in front of me, you could see that I've just, merged on these two reactions in one single file. And I've also provided some simple background to that. So just to identify the scope of the explosions. And I've also, switched on the hardware fog just to make things, a little bit more better. And the same, we're going to do that in the composting as well, which is not an issue. So moving forward, we would like to talk about some cache settings of that and some few other rendering settings of this course. Well, let's say first we're going to begin with the bigger explosions over here. And here you could see that we're going to go for the control A, and at the end I do have the cache assigned to it. All right, the cache has been started from frame 0 and it's there till the frame 120, which is pretty good, pretty normal. This is uh, I think so I've started calculating on 30 fps, and this is almost 4 seconds of the reactions. Okay, and what are the important settings of the cache? Let me just gonna take you up for that. We like to go with the end cache, create new cache, Maya fluids, giving the names, the folder, the path, everything. And here, the most important thing is that I'm considering the MCX versions, which is, for the larger files that are more than 2 gigs, I think so, and supports 64-bit caches as well. I think the MCC stands for the 32-bit version, but the MCX is for the 64-bit versions. The file distribution, I have to go with one single file only, and for the bigger reactions, obviously, the density, velocity, temperature, color, as well the fall of all these 5 attributes are obviously required. The benefits of the cache is like that, once you are done with your resolutions, once you're done with the blocking, once you're also done with your shading, you should go for the cache of your fluids. And still, if you're not satisfied with the, most of the times people try to come back, for the shading. And also, I generally recommend that the utilization of the shading of the cache is very, very, very essential. Suppose we are here in the incandescence graph, and suppose I just don't want this graph to be, for okay, if I want the graph to be in that way, I want the yellowish color to come over here to provide some more, hotness, or you can say the more aggressiveness to the reaction. I can just play that thing at any time. But instead of that, if I do not have the cache assigned to the fluids, then it's been, very, very a disaster, because all the time you need to go and crank up with the values, which is obviously never ever recommended. These are the final words for the cache, and for the ground dust impact, which is over here. I also do have the cache assigned to that. And these are the final changes. As told you that this was my own artistic decision to give some, lighter values to the dust, not to go ahead with that one. Otherwise, if you want, you may could go with that, but it is not, advisable. If you're gonna go with the very high values of the transparency, then we're gonna kill your reaction. As already discussed with you, we don't want that blobby stuffs at all. So let's just keep that thing in the previous, like the way it is previously designed. Okay. And of course, if you're just gonna come back from this mode, let's say display, and we're gonna come for the show all elements. Okay, pretty good. And now it's time to talk about the rendering settings. Mendelray is obviously the renderer for our system, and I would like to tell you one thing, that I was just, experimenting with that stuff, and came to know that the new renderer which the Mendelray has given, which is not the legacy, which is called the unified sampling method, was giving me some little bit, the Federal errors kind of the issue. So it may could be like that, the issue of the versions of the service pack, but I'm not pretty much sure about that. So I just avoided that rendering with the, with that, the unified sampling method. I recommend you to go for the legacy sampling methods only. That's just, working, at least for me, pretty much good. And I've ripped down the filter gauze to 2 and 2. Was interested in using the Michelle for 4:4 because I don't want to blur out the things, because you do remember that in case of the fluids, we decided not to go with the quality more than 0.25, since it was going to eat up all those noise inside the fluid, so which is not recommended. And one more thing is also I would like to discuss that the where are the shadows basically. The shadows are required to give the values, which is okay, I think so. I'm not able to locate the shadows over here. uh, all right, not a problem. The only thing is that the shadows are, once you create your light setup and all, the shadows are required to give with the values of the okay, let's just do one thing. I'll gonna get the shadow first, and then we're gonna discuss further. Okay, so here's the setting for the shadow. I was completely lost, sorry for that. It is somewhere around in the scene, and it's inside the lights, and here comes the shadows. The shadows are required you to give the segments, not the simple, otherwise you won't be able to, cast out the shadows of the fluids, all right? And these are just the common settings for the rendering, okay? Uh, so I guess all these things are over, and I really gonna enjoy this lesson with you, and hope you really enjoy the lesson too. So see you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Okay.